Sometimes, if you listen really hard, you can almost hear it.
Our first ever instant star is...
You're it, girl. You're the real thing.
That moment your life changes.
It's about a girl who is just about to fly off and see the world.
Forever.
Jude Harrison!
Hello and welcome to The Breakdown, an Instant Star Rewatch podcast. As always, I am joined by my wonderful co-host, Sam.
And I'm here with the beautiful Chloe.
And today we are recapping Instant Star Season 2, Episode 5, Viciousness. Original air date, March 10th, 2006. Synopsis. Kat struggles trying to find a place in Jude's life, and Tommy's trying to find his place in G major. I also have a note to say this episode should actually just have a synopsis that says Kat drives Jude around all day and gets jealous, and lots of people make out.
Yes.
What's your synopsis?
Embittered by Jude's success, Kat can't seem to find her place in her best friend's life. Playing second or third fiddle just isn't working anymore, and Kat lashes out, intentionally hurting Jude. Tommy also struggles with his place at G major.
What were your thoughts on this episode? I'm trying really hard to not say horrible things about it, but
I was just so glad to get this episode over with. Like, I'm not a fan of this episode. I think for all the character development that they did with Kat, they just threw it out the window.
Yep.
I think I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah, it's another one of those episodes where I think everyone is just out of character.
Yes.
Except maybe Jamie and Patsy. They seem to be the most in character.
Yes.
Well, let's go into the recap. Take it away.
All right. So Jude passes the Mustang for sale with Kat. She says she should tell her dad if he'd call her back. They go into the house to find Victoria making out with her divorce attorney, Dawn. Jude and Kat go to the interview with Jamie. Tommy is in an investment meeting when Sadie shows up. He has words with Liam and ends up having to do the A&R report at that night's meeting. Jude and Kat go see Stuart. She asks him about calling her back, and he just said he's been swamped. Jude has to go to G Major to pick out a dress for a movie premiere that her song will be in. Kat gets kicked out of the fashion meeting. Mason and Jude joke around about Jude having to pay Kat to be her best friend. Tommy sees Chaz, and Chaz invites him out. He goes into the meeting but doesn't have the information the shoots want. Kat lays into Jude about not getting a movie ticket and driving her around all day. They go back to the rehearsal space for Kat's bag but find Jamie and Patsy making out. They fill Jamie's car with stuff he's scared of. Kat finds out Jamie told Jude he loved her. The next morning, Jamie won't come out of his closet, so Jude gets his movie tickets. Mason agrees to take Kat. Jude is taking her dad. Kat lays into Jude again. Tommy is feeling down about the meeting, so he skips the movie and gets drunk with Chaz and Bruno. When the movie is over, Kat kisses Stuart when he went up to talk to her about Jude. Tommy shows up drunk at the house, and Sadie finds a bunch of random numbers in his pocket. Jude gets the Mustang, and Jude and Kat aren't friends anymore because of Kat's jealousy.
I mean, yeah, that sums it up. Everyone just makes out.
Yeah.
Well, let's start from the top. So we open with Jude and Kat looking at this old Mustang for sale. And
I love that Mustang.
I love that Mustang. I always want one.
Yes.
And they see this black cat, which Kat says is bad luck. And that just kind of foreshadows the episode. Because then they walk in on Jude's mom and her divorce lawyer. I mean, from the first few minutes of the episode, I'm like, okay, Kat's back in town, they're hanging out, but it just felt kind of out of place. Like all of a sudden, they're hanging out all day.
It felt different.
Yeah. What did you think about Jude's mom and the divorce lawyer?
I mean, if there's one thing that can be said for the Harrison women, they don't stay lonely long.
No.
None of them.
That couch gets a lot of make-out time, that's for sure.
Yes.
Well, then Jude and Kat go to the rehearsal space because Jamie is interviewing Jude about her new song appearing in this horror film. And Jude lets everyone know that she hates horror movies. I mean, I feel like this is the first time we've known this about Jude. It's like all of a sudden she's terrified of the trunk opening, and
yes,
I don't know, that just felt out of place as well. But then I guess why would we have needed to know it before now? I don't know. But I did like the moment between the three of them in the rehearsal space where they're kind of reminiscing when they all used to be friends.
Yes.
So we head to G Major, and Tommy is bored out of his mind in this investment meeting. And Sadie arrives and sides with Tommy that investors want these glitzy presentations. And Liam agrees that Tommy can give this glitzy presentation. Again, that felt out of character. Like, I don't know, why was Sadie, who's 18, 19?
Yeah.
Having a say in any of this kind of stuff?
I mean, just so many points with this episode.
Yeah. Like, why would Liam listen to an 18 or 19-year-old? I don't know, that just seemed weird. And then Jude and Kat go to see her dad, who we realise Jude hasn't seen since she signed over her trust fund to her mum. And she tries to apologise, but he's still kind of hurt by her actions. Again, I thought that was out of character. Her dad has always really loved Jude and cared for her, and it just seemed out of place that he would be so upset.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't want to say it seemed petty, but kind of seemed, like you said, out of character.
Yeah. So many thoughts on this episode. And then Jude and Kat go to G Major, so Jude can have her dress fitting. Kat isn't allowed to join in, so she has to wait outside. Again, I mean, I'm sure there's been plenty of strangers, quote unquote, wandering around G Major in all of season 1.
Yes.
This must be a Porter rule. And Jude gets convinced by Mason that he should go to the premiere with her. And then we see Tommy getting ready for his presentation, and he bumps into Chaz. I thought that was kind of cool that they brought him back for this one episode. Like how Chaz could bring out Tommy's party boy side again.
Yeah.
And Tommy gives this glitzy presentation, but no one is really thrilled by it, so Liam takes over. And then we see that Kat has waited outside for 3 hours for Jude and is pissed off when she finds out she gave her ticket to Mason. Like, I get it. I get her point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course they walk in on Jamie and Patsy. I think that scene is the most realistic scene of the entire episode.
Yes.
And I'm here fully for Jamie and Patsy.
Yes. So see, we do like Jamie.
Hey, Jamie comes into his own as soon as he meets Patsy.
Yes, he does.
So then Jude and Kat are putting weird stuff in his car. It took ages to realise they were putting the latex gloves in his car because he said he didn't like them. Like, I did not make that connection originally. And Jude also finds out that, Kat finds out that Jamie told Jude he loved her. What do we think about that?
I can see Kat's reaction, but at the same time, I think her reaction to it was out of proportion because even in season 1, it was kind of always Jamie had feelings for Jude first.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I want to say deeper feelings, but the feelings were there.
Yeah. And I guess that's kind of a horrible way to find out that the guy you really loved never told you he loved you.
Yeah.
And now you're being told that he said it to Jude pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So because of his car, Jamie doesn't want to go to the premieres, so Jude convinces Mason to take Kat as his date and then convinces her dad to go with her. I kind of like that. Like, Jude went out of her way to make sure that Kat got to be included. I feel like for Kat it was kind of a little too late though.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't thrilled at all.
No.
And then we find out from Kat that she's still not over Jamie. I'm like, really? You've been to New York, you've been to fashion school, you've like you should be over him by now.
Yes.
And maybe I can't remember how I used to feel about Kat's reaction when I was a lot younger. I can't remember if I was more sympathetic or not.
I've always kind of been like, I felt like they've had her held on for too long.
Yeah. I mean, did they really date for that long?
They really didn't.
No. Not that that matters, but I don't know, it felt weird for Kat to suddenly be like, well, hey, I'm still not over Jamie.
Yeah.
I was like, where did that come from? Like, I don't know. And then Tommy is annoyed at Sadie for pushing this business meeting onto him. It's like, dude, you're a grown man. If you didn't want to do it, you didn't have to do it. Like,
You didn't need to do it.
your 19-year-old girlfriend, however old she is, could have suggested it and you could have said no. Like,
Yes.
he so wanted to prove it to Liam that he did it anyway and then blame Sadie. Like, come on. So Sadie reminds him that the premiere is at 7, but he decides that it's better to go out with the boys for drinks. And they also stumble upon a hen party. Surprise, surprise. I kind of liked to see that side of Tommy, though. Like, we haven't really seen that side of Tommy.
Right.
Like, we've only seen the G major side of Tommy. He was kind of regressing back to his boys attack days, which I'm not saying is a good thing, but it was nice to see his character get a slightly different storyline. And then we get to the premiere, and Jude has her weird dream sequence for Fade to Black, which I used to really dislike, but I thought it fit really well watching it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the movie is when Kat kisses Stuart. Let's get into
I
that.
just found that so random. I'm just like, of all the things to do, you kiss a dad.
Yeah, I was like, that isn't going to prove or solve anything. It's just
I'm
weird.
like, if anything, that's just gonna gross me out.
Yeah. If my friend kissed my dad, I'd be like, okay, gross. But
Yeah, that's not gonna make me angry or
jealous.
question anything. It's just gonna gross me out.
Yeah, just weird. Probably would have got a better reaction if she kissed Mason.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that was strange too. And then we see Tommy getting to Sadie's drunk. I love drunk Tommy.
I love drunk Tommy.
He plays it so well. And we get this really kind of sweet confession from him that he did terrible at school and
Yes.
dropped out early, which that made me sad. Like, we're kind of seeing the layers of Tommy Q that we haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And then he passes out, and Sadie finds all these napkins with girls' numbers on them. And again, it's like, okay, great, but where's that storyline going to go?
Yeah.
I don't think it goes anywhere. It's just he got drunk and got some girls' numbers. So I don't know, that just felt like, okay, he could have just passed out and she couldn't have found any numbers. That would have worked as well.
Yeah.
It felt like a loose end that isn't going to go anywhere. And then we have the final scene where Jude and her dad have made up and he apologizes for Kat's behavior. And then Kat arrives and her and Jude hash it out and they realize they can't heal their wounds and Kat decides she can't be friends with Jude. I mean, okay, like, cool. I mean, Kat left season 1 and I don't really feel like Jude missed her as a friend.
No.
So I don't really understand why they brought Kat back to tie up this storyline anyway.
Mm-mm.
Weird. My take on this episode, weird.
Yeah. I feel like they could have left Kat in New York and it had been fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I liked her coming back for the 203, the overrated episode. That worked.
Yeah.
But then she could have just gone back to New York.
Mm-hmm.
What did you have for your episode theme?
I had things don't always work out the way we want.
Mm-hmm. I had jealousy.
That's a good one.
Like, Kat's jealous of Jude.
Mm-hmm.
Kat's kind of jealous of Patsy being with Jamie. Tommy's jealous of Liam getting, like, the business side of G Major. Everybody's jealous.
Yes.
What did you have for your likes and dislikes?
I had more dislikes. I had Jude and Sadie's wardrobe as a like. I had Mason as a like. Mason just cracks me up. I love Mason.
Yeah, he's great.
I like seeing Chaz. And then for my dislike, I put Kat's. Although I can see it, Kat's jealousy, Stuart's attitude towards Jude before the movie ticket.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually had more likes than dislikes, surprisingly. So I liked the Jude, Kat, and Jamie scene at the beginning in the rehearsal space because it reminded
Yes.
me of the early season 1 days where they all used to be friends. Life was easier. I liked the Tommy and Liam dynamic, like the too much testosterone, like wanting to prove
Mhm.
themselves to each other dynamic. I love Jude's hair. I think it's the best it's looked.
Yes.
I used to hate the fade to black dream sequence, but now I think it's really clever. And I liked seeing Tommy's vulnerability about not being smart. I disliked Jude being scared of horror films because I feel like it just came out of nowhere.
Mhm.
I disliked Jude suddenly relying on Kat to drive her everywhere. It's like Kat hasn't been in
Around.
in so many episodes, so Jude had to have got to G Major somehow.
Yeah.
So that just seemed weird. And I disliked Jude's attitude towards Kat and Kat's attitude towards Jude. Like I just feel
Yeah.
like this episode proves they never really recovered from Jude dating Jamie.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm interested to see who your chemistry cam choices.
I actually didn't have one.
It was difficult. I just had Jamie and Patsy making out because
Yeah. I mean, if
the
I had to pick one, that would be it.
I was like, Jude's mom and divorce lawyer? No.
No.
Jude's dad and Kat? Nope.
No.
So the only people it leaves are Jamie and Patsy, who were the sanest people in this episode.
Yes.
We're trying, guys. We're trying to.
We're trying.
What were your what the fuck moments?
Victoria and Dawn just like randomly make it out. I'm like, that poor couch is gonna need. I hope they burn that thing at the end of filming because. In letting Tommy lead an A&R meeting.
Yes, it's like, why is Tommy in an A&R meeting? Was that all you had?
Yes.
I had. Doesn't Jude's mom have a bedroom where her and Don can go and make out? Like, that couch has seen Victoria and Don, Victoria and Jude's dad, and Jude's dad and Yvette have all made out on this couch. It's like,
Yes.
bleh. Another what the fuck moment I had is Jude suddenly being scared of trunks opening. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we've never seen it before, and we will never see it again.
No.
Why is Sadie, a teenager, having any decision on whether Tommy should give this glitzy presentation? Liam wouldn't give two shits about her opinion.
No.
Why is Jude suddenly being driven everywhere by Kat? She never was before.
Mm.
And oh yeah, in Tommy's glitzy presentation, they use a season 1 photo of Jude. Why are they not using an up-to-date season 2 photo? Like, she doesn't even have red hair anymore. Okay, who are your heroes and villains?
I didn't have a hero. Now, I hate to say it, but my villain was Kat.
Same. My hero was Mason because I don't know. I just feel like he was the good guy in this episode. He took Kat to the premiere, and he didn't do anything bad this episode. And yeah, Kat just seemed. I mean, no one else could be the villain except Kat. Like, she kissed Jude's dad. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, our song review for Fade to Black. How many instant stars out of 10?
I gave it 6.
Ooh, you beat me. I gave it 5. It's a good song. The dream sequence that plays, I think, adds to the song. When I listen to it just on a soundtrack, I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as I'm in love with my guitar.
That's true. I don't think anything will ever be as bad as I'm in love with my guitar.
Oh dear. Okay, did you have anything for pop culture?
I did.
Yay!
I had The Ring came out. The Ring, which is a horror movie that Jamie and Kat mentioned in that little scene, came out in 2002. And the Blair Witch Project, which is another horror movie, came out in 1999.
Yes. Do you know, I've never seen the Blair Witch Project.
I haven't either. I don't do horror movies, so
I've seen The Ring and it was horrific. So, so the episode title is based on a song called Vicious by Lou Reed, released in 1973. Kat quotes Shania Twain. She says, "Now I feel like a woman," which is obviously a 1999 song by Shania Twain. Love her. Jamie says that he's no Lester Bangs just yet. He's just doing a press release. And I didn't know who Lester Bangs was, but I Googled him. And he was an American music journalist and musician. And he wrote articles for Cream and Rolling Stone magazines. Didn't know that. Jude says, "I know I'm no NASCAR pit bunny." And I had to Google what NASCAR was because, for anyone listening, I don't live in America. So NASCAR is a car racing thing. Wikipedia actually said it was a stock car racing. I don't know what stock car racing is, but there you go. Cars race. That's what I know.
yeah.
Portia offers Jude two different dresses, Betsy Johnson or Monique Jennings. Couldn't find anything about Monique Jennings, but Betsy Johnson is a well-known American fashion designer, best known for her feminine and whimsical dresses. And then my favourite bit of pop culture, after the fade to black dream sequence, Jude asks her dad how they used the song in the film. And Stuart says it involved a nail gun. And Alex Johnson, who plays Jude, starred in Final Destination 3, which her character in that film died by being killed with a nail gun.
Yes.
So I love that. Love that twist.
Yes.
What was your favourite quote? I really, really struggled.
Someone did something to his car, and now Jamie won't come out of his closet. It's so random, but I just love like the deliverance and how she says it and the face. I'm like, that's just it.
I really feel like Patsy stole this episode and she was in it for about 3 minutes.
Yep.
Crazy. So I really struggled to find a quote. I went with one from Kat at the end where she says, "You have this glamorous life. I can't compete." And Jude says, "I'm not competing." And Kat says, "Yeah, but I am. And we can't be friends if I try to wreck it every time you're happy," which is true.
Mm.
Okay. What did you have for your hashtag iconic? Iconic? Wow. What did you have for your hashtag iconic?
Where they're like loading Jamie's car up with all the stuff he's scared of.
Same. We had the same one.
Yes.
And I also really liked that scene because it was like the last time Jude and Kat hang out properly together and actually have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll spin the wheel for most likely to. Who is most likely to embarrass themselves in front of strangers? Jamie.
Yeah.
Yes, Jamie. Or Speed, maybe.
Yeah,
No,
I could see that. Jamie or Speed.
yeah. Okay, it's time for our episode rating. Out of 10 instant stars, how many stars do you give 205.
I gave it 5.
You beat
I
me
was
again. I gave it
being
4.
really nice. I wanted to give it 4 so bad, but I was like, I gotta try to be nice.
Okay, I'll round mine up to 5. I think it was still better than I'm in love with my guitar. I can't remember how many stars we gave that, but this was a struggle. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yes.
If anyone actually adores this episode, we would love to hear from you because, I don't know, I'm just interested to hear different people's perspectives. Just because we love an episode or dislike an episode, everyone's different. But as always, thank you so much for listening, and we will be back next week for episode 206. Bye!
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Breakdown, an Instant Star rewatch podcast. The Breakdown was produced by me, Chloe, and Neon Network Production. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and listen to all episodes of The Breakdown on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. See you next time.